Everyone. Alright, so one question I'm asked quite frequently is how to do winged liner, and how to make sure like the wings are even, because I talk about it in like a few videos, but I never really go into like full detail. I did in one video a long time ago, but it's easier to just watch a video on that as opposed to trying to find it in a tutorial, so that's what this is about. In this video, I'm giving you like a few tips and tricks on how I do winged liner. This is just how I do it. There's tons of different ways you can do it. One trick I forget to mention in the video, which I'm going to share right now, is if you can't do the thing that I do where you like go like that and close one eye at a time, because I know not everyone can do that, a really great tip is to, if you only have a mirror that's in front of you, just tilt your head back. And you can see when I do this, my eyes close enough that I could get in there and get some work done, but they're both open, so I can still see what I'm doing. Another trick is to just go ahead and take a mirror. Ooh, look, there's two of me. Just take a mirror and then either hold it underneath you and look down into it, so that way you get the same effect as tilting your head back, and then that way you can still get in there and do all your work. Or I personally, for like intricate work like liner and stuff, I just like to have the mirror so I can hold it really close, go like that, and then get a better idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, there's two more little tips, but with all of those and all the other stuff that I've said, let's just go right ahead and get the tutorial started. Okay, so first you want to decide if you're using like a pencil, if you're using a liquid, a cream, gel, whatever you want to call it, or just figure out which one you want to use. I'm going to use a gel liner only because that's what I'm mainly asked about, is how to use a gel liner, but you can use whatever. If you do a pencil liner and you still want it to be that thin, a really great tip is to go ahead and just take an angled brush and then run this across the liner to pick up the color on the brush and then apply it that way, because applying it just from the pencil, it's really hard to get a tiny really thin point, unless you really sharpen it, but even then it's still harder. Once you figure out which liner you want to use, then you're going to want to figure out what kind of brush you're going to want to use. There's like the regular angled brushes that I showed you that are bigger and smaller. Otherwise you have like your tiny liner brushes like this one. Then you have brushes like this one, which is the MAC 210. The 209 from MAC is a little bit bigger. Then you also have ones that are slanted like this, so that way you can just go without having to hold your hand a certain way. Then you even have big, thick ones like this, which is the MAC 211, which is also a liner brush. So yeah, tons and tons of different brushes you can use. I prefer to use the MAC 210 or the 209. So what brush you're going to use, again, is going to be up to you. Any of these, any pencil brush, doesn't matter. So once you figure out what brush you want to use, then you can go ahead, take those, and start to work. When I use a liner like this in the brush, I actually just take it and I just put it in there and twist it so the product is all over the brush and helps keep it come to a nice little point. Now the trick to make sure everything's going to be even is to follow your waterline. Now, if you're not familiar with what the waterline is, if I were to flip my lid down, that little ledge you see right there, right above your lash line, that's your waterline. So to say you're going to follow that, if you were drawing a line on your waterline and you're going like this and you're going and you're going, when you get right here, it doesn't just go straight out. It might on you, but for most people it curves up a little bit. And so if you were to follow that and it's going, and then it starts to curve, you're going to follow that little curve, because if your eyes aren't dramatically different as far as shape goes or like how they're positioned, then you'll make sure your liner's a little bit more on the even side by following that. So I'm going to pretend that I'm drawing a line on my waterline, and then you can either go away from it or draw towards it. Depending on what I'm doing, I'll do either or. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go follow it and make a little mark. And then I'm just going to take that mark, close my eye, and I'm going to connect it onto my lid like that. Now that I have that line drawn on, what I'm going to do is I want to connect this area right here. So I'm just going to kind of do like a V and take it to the corner of my eye like that. And then I'm just going to fill that in. So now I have that. I took it out pretty far so you could see, but you can see the wing follows my the shape of my waterline. Now let's say you mess up and you go a little too far down or something like that. A really great trick. You can always take a Q-tip and eye makeup remover and remove it that way, but what I like to do is I just take whatever eye makeup remover I'm using, put a little bit of it on the back of my hand like I already have, then I just go in with an angled liner brush like this, and then run it through the eye makeup remover, and that way I have a really thin brush, so that way I can get a very crisp line. And then if I need to do any cleanup, then I just use this to do whatever cleanup I need. I don't have too much of a mistake this time, but you can just use that to take care of it. But yeah, as you can see, now I have winged liner on, and it's very simple. And then if I go like that, I can see that they're pretty much even. This one just needs to be a little bit thicker right in here. So I'm going to do that very quickly, which again, I'm going to take my 209 brush, or sorry, my 210 that I'm using, and then I'm just going to go in and fatten it up a little bit. Now for me, I personally like to set any kind of liner with an eyeshadow, so I'm just going to go in with a tiny little angled brush like this. This is Max 208, and then I'm just picking up black eyeshadow. Which black eyeshadow you use is going to be up to you, and then I just go in and then I just pat that right on top, just to help set it, and to also make the black as black as I can get it. Now that I have the liner on, I'm just going to go in and add false lashes. To help with the wing, I just used corner lashes or half lashes. The ones I'm using are number 13. I got them from Daiso. So yeah, I'm just going to apply these very quickly. So yeah, now everything is on, and as you can see, it's even or close to being really even. So yeah, hope this was helpful to some of you, and until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.